Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Dawn and this is the Reclusive Crafter. We are going to be doing a little bit more on the Recipe Keeper journal. I've not done any more since my last video last week. Again, busy week, but I'm hoping to be able to get some pockets and things done and be able to get to the point where we are then literally just decorating. So I'm just going to run through now some pockets. Thank you very much for joining my channel again if you're returning. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you like what you see, if you could subscribe and like the channel, that would be lovely. Thank you very much. Or at least just pass it on to somebody who you think may be of interest. So let's get on. I've got lots still to do. I've just marked this page because I want to put a double pocket in here, and I'm just trying to work out at the moment what it is I'm actually wanting to do. So I've dug out some offcuts of things that I've already worked on, and my thought process is going to be that I want to do a side pocket with this, and I want to back it with a secondary pocket. So I'm just looking for some bits and pieces to do that. So ideally I'd like it on this page, so I'd like a backing with that type of paper, and then I'd like that as the top pocket. So I'm just trying to work out at the moment the best way to go about that. So I'm just looking for some papers that might be a little bit thicker than this particular one. I'm not sure if I've got one in that design. If not, I will make use of this one. I don't think, oh, there we go, perfect, lovely. So I shall make use of that one because that's done on a slightly thicker paper than this one, and if it's going to be for a pocket it needs to have a little bit more stability to it. So lovely, so let's get started now then. I have got a ruler somewhere. For the life of me I don't know what I've done with it. There it is. Okay, so my plan is, let me just cut this off to start with so that we can actually see what I'm working with. Just going to cut that down and just cut that little bit off there and just put that to one side for maybe using something off it later. And like I say, this one is going to be the top pocket of a double pocket. So I'm just going to work out where I want the cuts. So I think I'm going to cut it about there. Although, yeah, no, that'll be fine. And then I want to do this one. Okay, here the cogs going. I'm going to take that one to there, I think. Let me have a look and see what that looks like. So I'm just going to line this up just to give me a straight edge to work with. Line that up there, that's going to go there. Okay, reckon about there. So if I take that bit off to start with, and I want to keep all this design on, so I'm going to angle that down maybe like that across the design. and then just straighten that bit up. Straighten that off there. Let's have a look and see how that fits on the page. And there we go. That's actually quite nice. So now I'd like a second pocket down the back of it. So let's just have a look and see how we're going to measure that one out. So I want this one to be approximately, I would say about 1 centimetre or so larger, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe even as much as 1 inch, so even maybe that line there would work. How much space have I got on the page itself? So I would say no more than about 5.5 inches as a maximum. So if that's on there, 5.5 inches. If I go to 5.25, that takes me to that line there. And 5.5 comes out to there. But then I would want that equidistant there as well. So I think what I will do, if I was to go 3/4 of an inch bigger, that takes it over the 5.5. So if I go 1/2 an inch bigger, we'll take it to there, and that would be just under the 5.5, which I think I would be happier with. So let me mark that up. The pocket behind is going to be 1/2 an inch bigger, effectively. So let me just mark that up. If I can get this straight. Okay, so 1/2 an inch bigger would just be about there, and then 1/2 an inch bigger this way. Just move my bits out of the way. Oops. 1/2 inch bigger here would be there. Okay. So let's cut that one down first. That gives me a nice piece left to work with. Let's have a look and see how that, yeah, that's just about right, which is nice. Good, okay. And then I'm just going to take this piece off here. Take that one off there. And now I just need to shape the I think I'm going to glue that one on before I cut the shaping, because I think that will make it easier to follow the line if I do that. Hope you're all having a nice Saturday. I've had a busy start to my day. I've been up and walked the dogs, gone out and done a bit of shopping. My son has taken my partner's car in for a respray. So it's been a busy old morning, and then I thought I needed to get in this room and get a bit more of this journal done. There we go. Where's my cloth? Let me just... Perfect. So what I want to do is I want this to pretty much be equidistant all round. So I'm just going to mark, I'm just going to put the flat of, I don't know if you can see this, but I maybe should have inked that pocket before I did this. That might have been easier. I'm just going to put the base of the ruler just against the edge there. I just want to mark 1/2 inch out so that I know roughly where I need to be putting the angle cut. And I'm just going to be doing it by eye. In fact, I'm saying I'm just going to give myself a bit more of a guideline there. Just going to mark that there, just to give me a little bit more of a base to work with. So that will go there and there. That should be hopefully about right. There we go. That looks good. Okay. So I just threw the dauber on the floor. Let me just grab that. I really should have inked that before I stuck it on. But that's what happens when you're working on the fly and you're just thinking as you're going along. I do find that when I plan things out, they tend to work better. And when I work on the fly, I tend to forget things and make mistakes. So maybe that's a lesson to be learned. Right, let's just give this a little ink. And then that'll be another pocket ready to go in. And being as though I'm going to be doing each signature on a similar theme, I'll have another 2 of these pockets to make, but I'm not going to waste time showing you how to do the same thing over and over and over. So I'll construct something different, and we'll do something a little bit different for the next one. I've got lots of offcuts that I want to try and use up if I can. So hopefully I'll have some ideas for it. Just notice that's not stuck down very well there, so I'm just going to pop a little bit more glue on there. Just wipe that off. There we go. Nice. And now that's the pocket that I wanted that in. Right, now, does that look too samey, or should I perhaps pop that on that side? I did make it for here, but looking at that, I'm not sure if that's maybe a little bit too samey. I wonder if I have a look at one of the other signatures. So where are we? We're 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me have a look at the other signatures and see what the pages are like. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So it'll be that one there. Do I like that? Not sure. Let me have a look at this one. Decide where that one's going to go. We've got 1, 2, 3. So that'll be on that one there. That's an orange one again. No, I actually think I preferred the first one. So we are looking. Where was we? 1, 2, 3. we were there. Okay, I think I'll go with my first thought and put that on there. I guess once I get journal cards and tags and things in there, that'll break that up a little bit, which will be absolutely fine. So that's what we will go with. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue along here, a little bit of glue along here, and line it up to go in here. I'm going to leave just a margin of an edge. Ooh, just pulled that up there slightly. There we go. And that's another little pocket in. Yay! There we go. That looks lovely. And that is the other piece of the page. If I can find it. Don't know where the other one was, to be honest. We'll come across it. But it was the other piece of there's two designs like that on one page, and that was the other side that I'd cut off on one of the fussy cut pockets that I did. There it is, that one there. So it was the other side of that. So that's a single pocket, and it's been fussy cut into the shape, and then I've used the other side of the paper to do that double pocket there. So that's that one done. Nice. So next I want to put in a belly band, and I'm just trying to, now as I said previously, I need to pare down the number of pockets in here, because otherwise I'm going to end up with a huge gaiter mouth, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm just looking at spacing the pockets out a little bit more than I had them. So I've got the nice triple pocket there, which I showed you previously. I've got a little envelope there. I just put in the double pocket there. And we are into the second half of the first signature here. So I think I've got a tuck pocket there. So I'd plan to put a pocket there. And then we're at the back. So I think I'm going to not put one in there. And I think I'm going to put a belly band in here. Although we are back to this pattern again, so actually, if I put the belly band where I'd planned, that would look quite nice through the parchment when you're looking at it from this side. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick to my original idea, and I'm going to put a belly band in here. So lots of cut-offs I can make belly bands out of, and I'm just going to have a look through and see what I want to use. I've also got some bits and pieces here, and there were, yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? That would make a nice tag, so I don't want to use that one. And I think actually what I'm going to do is I am going to do a belly band and decorate it with some of the ephemera. Is that one too wide? I have got other cut-offs even. That one's a little bit thinner. Let's have a look at that on the page. Do I like that, or do I want that to be even thinner still? Let's have a look. What else have we got here? It's got a little oven glove, but if I'm going to be embellishing that, I'll lose that. Okay, I think I'm going to use this, but I think I will narrow it down just a little bit. I just feel that that's just a little bit too wide. Maybe I'm going to take off 4 little squares on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, which will take it down to there. Let me just get that so that you can see what I'm doing. So that's 4 there. Let's just trim that down. That gives me another little strip to work with. And that, I think, is just a nice size belly band. Happy with that one. Okay, so I'm going to dig out some pretties and we're going to embellish this one before I stick it on. And I think what I'd also like to do is I'd just like to take that little half end off there, just so that it's not quite the whole length of the page, just to give me just the tiniest of borders around, which, yeah, I'm happier with that size. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that in there so that we know where that's going. Move that out of the way. Just bear with me while I just dig out all my little bits and pieces so that I can start embellishing. And this is the fun bit. This is the bit I really love to do. Right then, so I've got lots and lots of different little bits and pieces. So let's have a look and see what we've got here. Lots and lots and lots of little bits. Absolutely love it. Look how pretty are these. Okay, so I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to have a focal point. So I'll start with a focal point and then I'll work out from that. So little carrots, quite like those. What else? Oh, salt and pepper pot, that's very cute. A lot of these little designs here did actually come from the Scrimping Mummy Recipe Keeper collection. And other ones are bits and pieces that I've had previously that I've used, or ones that I've just found and I've just used and fussy cutted them out. That's kind of cute. I like that. And then what have we got here? I'm trying to keep it kind of savoury because it's supposed to be the starter section this is going in. Not that that really matters, but just trying to keep it sort of in keeping, really. These are nice. Let's have a look at that. Losing that though by putting that there, so let's pop that there. Maybe pop that one down there and that one there. I'm off camera here. Let's move these up so that you can see. Okay, I don't mind that being covered over a little bit. Salt and pepper, can't go too far over because otherwise we'll be off the page. And then maybe pop the rolling pin in there. Do we like that? This bit always takes me so long to decide on what I'm doing. Maybe pop a bottle in. Nope, don't like the bottle, prefer the little jar. Maybe straighten that one up. Little jar, rolling pin. How's that? I quite like that. Okay, that is what we will go with. So let me just tidy up all my little bits. I'm just going to scoot those off to the side a little bit. And I'm just going to pop a wee bit of ink all around these. The weather has been absolutely dreadful this week. I don't know what part of the country you are all in, or even what country you are in, but here in the UK, certainly in the Lincolnshire area, which is where I live, yeah, the weather's not been great at all. We've had lots and lots of rain. Even on days where they said that we were only going to get a little bit of a shower, it absolutely was persistent nearly all day. But I suppose being as though we had weeks and weeks of no rain beforehand, that's good for the garden, if nothing else. And for the crops, being in Lincolnshire, it is a agricultural area, so people will be glad that the farmers have got the little bit of rain for their crops. And they were talking about all the food prices going up because all the crops were withering, so food would have been a lot more expensive. So I suppose there's always a silver lining to everything, which is nice. Just very quickly just running a little bit of ink around these just to take off that white edge a little bit. Those of you that follow Scrimping Mummy as well, she has got a new challenge set up as well, if you want to pop along to her channel and take a look. I haven't had a chance to actually make a start on it yet. I did the previous challenge, the 20-week previous challenge, which was lovely. I really enjoyed doing that, but I just haven't had the time to make a start on the new one, so I'm hoping to be able to find some time to do that this weekend, which will be nice. Do I want them to go that way, or do I want them to go that way? Or do they even need to go any way at all? Can they just go straight? No, I don't like them straight. So I think that is how we will do that. Okay, so let's get them stuck down. And I'd be interested to know what you guys are all working on, and what ideas you've got, and if you've got your own channels, pop your details in the comments, because I'd love to pop along and see what you all get up to. And if you don't have a channel of your own and you're just looking for ideas, I hope you find something here that works for you. Oh, I went shopping this morning to Asda's. I don't normally go out shopping. I usually have shopping delivered. Shopping horrifies me. I really find it quite stressful, so I don't usually do that if I can get away with it. but I decided to take the bull by the horns. I didn't need very much, so I just thought I'd nip in. I was actually quite surprised at some of the prices being quite a bit lower than where I normally shop, which was nice. So I ended up spending a fortune anyway, even though I only needed a few bits and pieces, picking up bits and pieces that I can store away. So that didn't quite work out as planned. Just going to lift that up a little bit so that it doesn't stick, because I've glued the whole thing and now I've made a mess. There we go. Let's just wipe those off a little bit. Be fine when it dries. I won't show. There we go. Let's just get these final little bits on here. I think I do want that one straight, and we're going to pop that one on there. Okay, so we're nearly there with this one. And then that one, I just want, again, it can't go over the edge too much, because otherwise it's going to be off the edge of the page. I maybe should have put that a little bit higher up, but hey ho, it'll be fine. There we go. Good. There we go. Nice. Okay. I'm just going to wipe the edge of those off, because I don't want the whole thing to be sticking down when I pop it on the page. There we go. That's nice, I like that. I'm just going to pop a little bit of ink just around the bits that I can see. Just to finish that off just slightly. That one's still a little bit tacky there. Just got a little bit, just needs to be nipped off there, I can see. Just take that little bit off there. Okay, we're good to go. Right then. And we are going to be popping that in there, and I think that looks really nice. Yeah, that's where we're going to go. Okay, so we want a little bit of glue across here, a little bit of glue across here, and then we're just going to stick that on the page, and that actually just lines up nicely with those, and there. And it moved just slightly. There we go. Okay. And that's the belly band in. And there, how cute does that look? I love that. And then there we go. Look how lovely. You can actually see that through the parchment. I think that looks really nice. It just takes off the plainness of the page. So I think that was a good call, leaving it there as opposed to moving it further back in the journal. So very happy with that. I'm just trying to get me pin in my glue again. Oh, rubbish at that. So while I've got you, top tip for these glue sticks. You tend to go through these quite a lot, and I did find that when you get to the end of the glue stick, there's like a little bit where the glue actually sits in. It's probably about that deep, and it's got that centerpiece in the middle there. And what I've been doing is when I get to the end of the glue stick, I've been saving the glue stick and just popping it away. And then yesterday I was nearly out of a full glue stick again. So I got all of the ones that I popped away, and I took the little bit out of the top and I scooped all of the glue that was still in that little section, which actually you can't get out. You can't get it out unless you're digging it out. And I put it all into one that was pretty much empty, and I ended up getting a whole glue stick out of it. And glues and things aren't cheap, so yeah, nice little tip. Just hang on to them, take the glue out of the little bit at the top, keep one of the empty ones, and then just fill up an empty one with all the glue that's left inside, and you'll end up with another glue stick to use, which you wouldn't have otherwise had, because all of that glue that was in the top would have been wasted and thrown away in the bin. Little top tip there for you. So moving on, what are we going to get up to now? Let's have a look at the scores. So that's our little tuck in there. I was going to do a pocket on there, but I'm not sure. I can't make up my mind what I want to do on there. If anyone's got any suggestions, it's a half page. If anyone's got any suggestions for that one, I'd love to hear it, because I do tend to overthink things quite a lot. And I'm just now going to, I think, pop a pocket, not top a tocket, pop a pocket on this one. But what type of pocket do I want to do? So we've done a belly band, we've done corner pockets. So we've got a corner pocket there used from the menu box. We've got a little library card pocket there. We've got the waterfall pocket. We've got the basic pocket, bottom page pocket there. We have got, what else have we got? We've got the fussy cut pocket there. We have got the triple slot pocket there. We've got a little envelope there. We have got the double pocket that I've just done there. Love that, that looks nice now. I'm glad I went with that. We've got a belly band. We've got a little tuck pocket there. Can't make up my mind what to put on there. And we now need to find something to pop on here. And then that effectively will be all of the pockets for that one signature, which I will then triplicate throughout the other two signatures. So that will give me my template then for the other two signatures. So I just need to decide now what the heck I'm doing on this one. Yeah, and I'm really not sure. So while I'm thinking about that, I have got a few little bits and pieces that still need doing in here. There are some pages, those bag pockets that I did here. So that still needs covering. So I think I will go ahead and cover this. Don't know what that is on there. That will get covered up, hopefully. There we go, got it off, whatever it was. Right, what I'd like to do is I would like to cover this with the orange to match this one. So I think I will do that. So let me just get all my little fussy bits out of the way. And then I can measure that up and stick that on. Please do pass me all your comments and all your ideas for the other pockets and what you think will look nice. Because I am open to suggestions on them. So let me just fill this in while I'm, so I want that to cut along that line there, and I want that to cut I'm going to cut that there initially, because although that might look a little bit long, I just want to take that top section off there. So I'm just going to take that top section off of there first, just that little slither there. so that I am at the edge of the square. And then I'm going to cut that down there. This is such easy paper to work with these squares. It would help if I had some glasses on so I could see what I was doing. There we go. Let's cut that down there. So I don't need that bit just now. And I want to cut this one along this line here. And then we're just going to see if it works okay. That's another bit there. How does that look size-wise? Ah, perfect. There we go. Love it. That's nice. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to take off that little pencil line there that I can still see. So that's that one off. Didn't leave one there. Now all I need to do is glue this one down. So what have you all got planned for the rest of the weekend? You doing anything exciting? I'm not sure if my daughter's working this weekend, but I know my son is going to a monster truck show. Oh, my daughter is taking my granddaughter to the circus tonight. She's just done really well in her shot put. She does shot put for school. She's 13 and she's just got through to the county championships, I think it was, and she threw her personal best. I don't know if you call it throwing in shot put, but yeah, she did a personal best, so we're very proud of her at the moment. So she's doing really well on that, and as a little treat she's getting taken to the circus tonight. And then my other granddaughter, who's also doing incredibly well at school, is being treated to the monster truck show this evening. So they've both got a lovely evening to look forward to, both doing different things. And I'm doing my normal reclusive little bit and staying indoors and probably crafting, and that absolutely suits me down to the ground. So that's that bit done, so that's nice. And now this piece needs doing as well. I've got the other bit of paper here. Now then, do I want that to be quite as samey, or what have we got here that can also go on that page? Where are those offcuts gone again? I've got some of these. Got lots of those. And that's got that same design on. That one might work, although we have got the design in a page throughout the book, but I don't really mind that, to be honest with you. I don't mind things being repeated throughout, as long as there's consistency. It still looks nice. Oh, where's the hole? Come on, there it is. Okay, let's have a look. What have we got here? We have got the orange. Don't think the orange. Oh, that would have been nice on that side, actually. Yeah, I've never thought about that. Never mind. No doubt we'll be able to use that later on. That's quite nice. Could use that. Then I kind of wanted some journaling space, ideally. Don't seem to have I just got a plain bit here that I haven't used yet. I don't think so. No. Okay, so I don't really want to print any more pages out because I have used loads and loads, well, I printed loads of them. As you can see, I've got 3 designs there, all of the same thing, because I was doing various things. I wonder, maybe that might be a nice idea. Maybe if I put that on there with a little belly band across it in the same design, and then I could use it for a tuck and I'm not losing anything. Ha, fab. That's what I'll do. Will that work with that? And then, look at that, they're both the same size. Awesome. So I can just cut a belly band across there. So I'll have a sideways belly band that's already designed. It'll fit in almost as an invisible belly band. And then I can make use of that page for journaling as well, without actually the page itself being needed for journaling. That's a perfect idea, and that's what we're going to do. So, tra-li-la-li-la. So let's cut this one to size. Now, I'd rather lose that side than this side because I quite like that little oil bottle there. So I'm going to turn that over because that will give me, oh look, haha, could have used that. No, I like my first idea best. So I'm going to cut that there. Nice. And then height wise, what do I want to take off, the top or the bottom? I think I'm going to take off the top because I want that pie to be the centerpiece-ish. So that if I take off the top bit, that'll work better. So I'm going to take off the top piece. Just line that up there. Line that up there. Take that off about there. Ta-da-ta. That's that one. Okay. That looks about right there. Nice. Pop that in my little scrap box. Use that up for something else. Oh, that was very intelligent. I've just cut off my pencil mark for the top cut. Duh. Seems to be okay. Let's try that one again then. So I want to cut that one about there. And that one's there. Let's take that down. Ta -ta 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 -ta. There we go. And now, before I actually stick that in, I'm just going to go through and just see where the other one similar to that is. Because if it's in this particular signature, that might be a bit too samey. Don't know. Let me have a look. Oh dear, my thought processes. There we go. No, love that belly band. So sweet. Right, it's not. So that's nice. So in that case, oh, I was looking at the wrong freaking signature. Right, that's that one. that one. That's beautiful centre pages, love those. No, I don't think we have got that one anywhere near, have we? So that's kind of nice, and that's nice. It must be in this one. Yeah, it's there, look. Okay, so that one will do nicely there then. Quite happy with that. Lovely, 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 lovely. And what I do want to do is I just want to make sure that I mark up where I want the belly band to be cut, because I do want it to match, and I want that bit in there. So I think tink 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 tink, I think I will cut it. It's not going to be a high belly band, is it? In fact, it's going to be to the lower end of the page, but I'm actually okay with that. I don't mind that at all. So I want to cut that about there, and I want to cut it about there, and then I'll take a look at it to see what it's like. I can always alter it once we've done it. Let me just check myself for time, because I'm really conscious that I did a really long video before, and people do tend to get a little bit bored with if it goes on for too long, so I'm just conscious about keeping my timings a little bit better. So we will just pop this one on, and then we'll do that little belly band, and then I think we'll call it a day for today, because that effectively will be this, apart from that one little bit that I love comments for, this will be the first signature to complete with pockets, which means that I can just duplicate throughout the other two, or triplicate through the other two, and then all we've got to do is decorate it all up, which is really exciting. So in theory we should get this finished within the next one or two videos, which is nice. Okay, let me just, it's gone a bit squiffy there, and I bet I can't move it now. Pull it down. I think it's the page itself that's a bit squiffy, but that's okay. Let me just pop that down there. Good rub. How's that? That's nice. Okay. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Just make sure that edge is really pushed down well. And that looks nice. And then with this being the bag, we have got the pocket there as well. I might put a thumb cut in there, I'm not sure yet, need to think about that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to sort out now this little belly band for that, and then we'll call it a day for today, I think. So let's pop that along there. That looks, let me do it so I can line it up, because otherwise we're going to can't see my marks. Let's pop that there. I like that, so we'll take that off there. That'll make another nice little pocket for something. And then let's have a look at this one. Okay, so where do we want this one? I did originally say there, but I think, do I want that thinner band? Maybe I do, I don't know. Yeah, I think we'll go there with that one. Lovely. Okay, so that's that one, and now what we need to do is to line it up. So that needs to go there, which means we need to trim off there and trim off there, and then over here we need to trim off there and there, I reckon. So, drum roll, let's hope I've got this right. Let's take that off there. And that's a little slither to come off that side. One off there. And now hopefully this should line up really well. Ta-da! And we've got a little belly band. Yay! So I'm just going to pop a little bit of ink just around the edging, just so that you can actually see there is a belly band there. I can't believe how quickly time goes when you're doing these videos. You get so engrossed in what you're doing that you actually don't realise how quickly the time goes by. And now we're just going to pop a little bit of glue. As you can see, this was something else. I've reutilised it so that I don't waste paper. A little bit of glue on there. And now let's get it all lined up so that we don't mess it up, hopefully. That looks good. That looks good. I think. What do you think? Yeah, I think that looks good. Nice. Oh crap, that moved. There we go. There we go. Another little belly band. And across the page, belly band as opposed to a vertical. You can just tuck something in there. A nice little journal card will go in there, which will compensate for not being able to write on this page. So that's lovely. Good. Okay, so I think, where are we for time? I think that's where we will call it a day for today. What I'll do is I will go through now the rest of the journal and just add the little bits in that we've done today and duplicate that and triplicate it throughout the rest of the journal. And then when we come back, probably next week now, we'll start embellishing, and even if we don't get it finished off, we will get very close to finishing. So like I say, 1 or 2 more videos and I think we will be there. Thank you so much again for joining me today. It's been really nice doing this today. I'm going to get on and now do the little bits and pieces that I mentioned. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Give me a thumbs up and share with your family and friends if you'd be kind enough to do that as well. And I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.